Ooh, another day, another lawsuit. We have Teresa Giudice's husband, who is in hot water for not paying some bills and possibly accused of some fraud. We also have Lisa Barlow that's getting sued for over $400,000. My goodness, everybody just out here getting sued. It's like, you get a lawsuit, you get a lawsuit, you get a lawsuit. But you know what we don't do? Break down low budget tea. So get ready because we're going to break it down today. You're listening to No Filter with Zach Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What up? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in, everybody. What's going on? Happy Thursday. It's our last episode of the week, unless you're a member of the Zack Pack on YouTube or a member of No Filter Plus on Apple Podcasts, then you get a bonus episode this week. But if not, it's okay, because we still got lots of tea that we're going to recap and talk about today, specifically the Teresa Giudice, Louie Ruelas drama, and the Lisa Barlow lawsuit that has now ensued. But we also have shots fired from the cast of Jersey calling out Jackie Goldschneider. As we saw in the show, Margaret Josephs called her Jackie Giudice Goldschneider. And now on the after show, Margaret is saying that Jackie is thirsty. She's a fame whore. She literally slams her as a fame whore, which I don't disagree with. Jackie's not looking good this season on Jersey. She is kind of looking like she's thirsty. She wants to sell her book. Looks like that's kind of her motive. Let's get into as much drama as we can, and let's align with Teresa, because if we align with Teresa, if we align with Teresa, excuse them, Mom. If we align with Teresa, sorry, there was a little issue with the soundboard, but aligning with Teresa for the 8th time, it gives her more camera time, because then she has like an ally. She has somebody to stand next to. Whatever. Okay. I just think it's dumb. She looks like a flip-flopper. Bailing on Melissa and Marge shows that she has no loyalty, because there was no real falling out. I would understand if Melissa or Marge did something to Jackie, and then it would make sense as to why there's a falling out. But I mean, without that, and with the book coming out, and with her wanting to be full-time again, it makes it look like she's doing it and she's thirsty for the camera time and she wants to have a full-time spot. So I don't buy the bullshit, Jackie Goldschneider. I don't buy it. I don't like it. Not today, Satan. Not today, Jackie. So I agree with Margaret. She is a fame whore. Even Melissa was like, I don't understand where this came from. Like, Jackie hated Teresa the most, and now suddenly is like BFFs with Teresa. And there was no real oh my God, I was out and dry. I, was driving my car down the road and I flipped it 8 times in the snow and I was stuck in a ditch for 2 days. And then Teresa came by and saved me. And that's why I believe Teresa is such a good person. It's like, no, we happened to run into each other at a party and we were talking and we connected and it was a very brief conversation, but now we're good. It's like, what? Not what? How? What? How does that make any sense? Like, you hated this woman, and then suddenly you have a very brief kind of chit chat at a party, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, this is my new best friend. I'm going to ditch my old friends because of it. Whatever. Okay. Let's talk about the Teresa Louie stuff while we're on the topic of Jersey, and then we'll get into the Lisa Barlow of it all. But okay. Teresa and Louie are now back in some hot water, right? So Teresa still working on paying off her tax debt from all the drama with Joe Giudice, Juicy Joe. He is no longer in the States. He's been deported, but she's still paying off some of their debt. It's almost cleared. I believe she's paid back her restitution, but she still has some tax debt that she's trying to clear out. That said, there's this new drama surrounding Vinivia, I think is how you pronounce it. It's an app. And so according to the App Store, Vinivia offers an immersive and authentic way to showcase products, launch promotions, and connect with customers, leading to increased brand visibility and sales opportunities. So it's basically, I believe, a platform, an app that creators and influencers can connect with brands through live streaming, right? So similar to like this right now, YouTube live stream, Instagram live stream. So live stream is becoming really popular. Amazon Live has become really popular. So I believe Vinivia is trying to do that in its own app. So so this is reported by Hollywood Unlocked. Deja Monet, Louis Ruelas, and Marcelo Genovese, who is the CEO of Vinivia, they're all being accused of financial misconduct. So I don't believe there's an official lawsuit filed yet, but there are multiple accusations against these three people. Okay. So it's weird because Louis previously denied having any connection to this guy, Genovese. Marcelo Genovese. So Louis like, I don't know this dude. We ain't friends, right? But Marcelo is the CEO of Vinivia, and Louis has previously endorsed Vinivia online, and apparently they share an office together in LA. We know Louis has business in LA, and that's why him and Teresa come back and forth. And then, according to The Sun, so Louis isn't the owner of Vinivia, but he's an independent contractor that I guess consults, right? It's a very big, ambiguous term that people, well, not a big term, but a very ambiguous term that a lot of people use when they do social media consulting, business management consulting, marketing consulting. It can really mean anything, right? So he consults and provides services to this company, but he's not an actual owner of the company. He's an independent contractor that gets paid out through this company for his services. What those services are necessarily, I don't know. Little sketch, right? Apparently, Marcelo told his team that Louis was coming into the company as an investor, and they had $300,000 that was written out to a seemingly fake company called Influencer Nation, that didn't seem to be like a real legit company, could possibly be a shell company, unclear. And then there was another $100,000 that was paid out to Louis personally. Now, if he's an investor, then he shouldn't be taking any money. He should be giving money. But if he's a contractor, then the money that they're giving him, this 100K, could possibly be for his fees. It could be an endorsement fee. It can be a consulting fee. It can be a number of different things. All we know is Louis is getting some money for his role at this company, but we're not exactly sure what his role is. So now, how are these two enthralled? They're connected through this app somehow, even though he's like, I don't really know this dude. Last year, Louis and Teresa and their kids attended the launch party for Vivina. And the party planner came out and claimed that Louis owed her $300,000 for the party. And apparently he was dodging her. Then she came out on social media and she was calling him out. She was showing pictures of them at the event. They claimed that it was their investors that were holding back. And because the investors hadn't paid the company, they weren't able to pay back the people that they've hired to put on this party and other contractors that are related. But it seems like Louis as a contractor is getting paid, but this woman who planned this party wasn't getting paid what she's entitled to. I assume that 300,000 was part of her fee on top of like all the party expenses. So again, unclear what his role is exactly. Now, technically, this Vivinia, what is it called? Vivina? Vivinia? Vinivia. So apparently this Vinivia it's a startup company, right? And so there is a little bit of like all right, if it's a startup, then there's not usually a ton of money unless you do have investors or you have some sort of loans that you've taken out to help support the company. You need funds, and funds can be tight when you are a startup, especially if you're not turning much of a profit, which you don't necessarily turn within, you know, the first year or so. It's very rare that startups are really making a large profit right up front. You invest and then it keeps going. Celine in the live chat says, how do you have a $300,000 party? Very easily. I mean, the lavish part, I mean, what a lot of these people pay, because you're getting fire breathers and you're getting photo booths and you're getting all this shit that's like looking so exorbitant. You have a venue fee because you're going to rent out somewhere. If you want to rent out a really fancy place, that can also add up. You have all of the decor, you have the DJ, you have stream lights. I don't know. You have a bunch of shit that you can very easily rack up 300,000. I mean, these events cost a lot of money. 300,000 is a very like extravagant event. Um, I mean, I would say for like a launch party like this, you're probably gonna maybe on a good party spend like 80 to 100 grand. So triple that is a bit excessive if you ask me. I know it's an app. I don't know why we need to have that big of a part. Look at Danielle on Summer House when she launched her app that Kim Kardashian launched like 8 years ago. But Danielle launched her fashion app, and that didn't seem like it cost that much money. I would be surprised if she paid 40 grand on that party. But let me tell you, it's very easy to add up because like venues are like a minimum of like 10 grand to rent a venue, right? Then you need catering. That's probably another 10 grand. Or if you're doing luxury catering and open bar, that can be upwards towards like 20 to 30 grand. F&B is very expensive, food and beverage, very expensive. So when you're hiring, you have to pay for the alcohol, you have to pay for the bartenders. If you're going to have multiple bars, and that's multiple bartenders. And if you're going to have, you have to pay for the chef and the staff that's cooking. And then you have to pay for the servers. You have to pay all the rentals for all the tables and chairs and, all the stuff. I don't know. Again, 300,000 is very excessive. I thought she was paid 250,000 and is still owed 300. Oh, she was paid 250 and that's no, I don't think that sounds right, Jacqueline. That sounds off. Something about that doesn't sound right. Because then that would make the party three, four, five. That would make the party half a mil. Nobody's gonna spend $500,000 on an app launch party. That's just stupid. Unless she's lying, but that's ridiculous. Nobody is paying half a mil to throw a launch party. You do it at an already dressed venue. You put a step and repeat up. You hire a DJ. You get some good lights going, and it's solid. Kyle's white party was over 400,000. Kyle's white party was at SoFi Stadium. It was literally at a stadium that you have to rent out. So yeah, that's going to be but yes, that's how you can very easily um, rack up that sort of stuff. The venue fees are what's expensive. I believe SoFi Stadium's like at least 100 grand to rent out. Um, and they were on the field. Then you have all the catering and the bar and all the stuff, car service. If there's a live performance, and you have to pay for all of that. So it's a lot. Like I said, again, this is a startup. So even when you are a startup, you want to be a little more mindful of how you're spending your money. This much money on a launch party, not a wise investment. But I mean, there has to be some money if he's getting paid. If they're able to send 300K to some random influencer marketing company, Influencer Nation, and then they have Louie that's reportedly getting 100,000. I don't know. Laura says no one does pin the tail on the donkey and a pinata anymore. Nope, they going big now. They going all out. But now Louis does have another company, and his other company is called Digital Media Solutions. Now I assume this is maybe where he was getting paid out of his app money into Digital Media Solutions. This is um, a marketing company, right? It was also sued last year for telemarketing harassment. Those woman that was claiming she was getting several telemarketing calls from this company. It's very Jen Shaw, right? So I mean, these schemes happen all the time. It doesn't look good for Louis. The more I know, people are kind of just looking for reasons to tackle onto him because he looks so controversial on Real Houses in New Jersey and people are digging. I think there is something to be said if they haven't really found anything substantial that sticks to him and there isn't like a solid lawsuit that he's been sued and that he's lost in. I think that does say something. And you have to give credit for that a lot of these accusations could really just be coming at them because they're on television and they look shady. But also where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't know. But all of this has apparently led to some sort of financial woes because despite their new $3.3 million home that he and Teresa purchased back in 2021, Louis just took out a $1 million loan against the house. So he took out the loan in March of this year, and he listed their home as collateral. Oy vey. So he ain't helping himself. That's all I know. He ain't doing himself any favors. But also, like, when you like taking out loans, like you compare it to like somebody that maybe isn't, ballparking their money in like the millions, right? If you bring it down and maybe they have like a more modest salary, maybe 80, 90, 100, 120, 130, 140, maybe if that's what they're making per year, then you scale that down and maybe it's like taking out a $20,000 loan or a $30,000 loan. So, these things, when you scale it down, it is kind of standard. If you need to take out a loan for whatever reason, a business investment, paying off taxes, like whatever it is, people, I'm sure many people listening or watching this right now have had situations where they've had to take out personal loans for whatever reason or a business loan. Usually, when you take out a large loan, you do have to put up some sort of collateral. In this case, he put up the home. So, I mean, people are making it sound a little more salacious than I personally think that it actually is. I don't like Louie. I'm not the biggest Teresa fan. I'm certainly not a tree stump, but I don't know. I think people are just looking for drama. When there's drama, then there's drama. But he definitely seems to dodge paying some high bills, because multiple people have come out and said that, and he's also just had his run-ins with his exes, but we'll see how this plays out. It's weird that he's like, "I'm part of this app and I'm not part of this app." Something about that seems fishy. I know the CEO, I don't know the CEO. I work for the company, I don't work for the company. It's my company, it's not my company. That to me looks a little shady and looks like we're shuffling some of the money around somewhere. But where are we shuffling the money to if the money's not actually going to pay the people that are entitled to getting money? And so part of these new fraud claims and these new like money issue claims are coming from them being late with paying employees, late with paying contractors, like their payments just aren't going out when they should be. And so people are starting to complain about it. Oh, Bodito. Yeah, we can't forget the Bodito. There's something shady. We just haven't hit that nail on the head yet, is what I'm saying. There's clearly something shady, but, you know, something's up. Laura says, "You know where you work and what you do." Shady. Yeah, that's true. That again, there's something shady that is going down. I don't like it. Something's off about it. Don't know what it, you know, don't know when the house of cards is going to fall, but I don't know if this is it. Selena says, "Teresa loves some of that thug passion. Thug love is the best love. Thug love is ride or die. Thug love till the end," Selena. Luciana says, "If you can take out a loan against your home, you have to have paid at least 80% of the home paid off." Yeah. I mean, the loan's only a third of the house. So yeah, I'm assuming most of the home has been paid off. Or it's like a Tom Girardi situation, right? Remember, Tom was like putting the home up for multiple different loans because he knew all of the loan lenders. And there's a whole deeper conspiracy into the Girardi stuff that not only was it him, but it was all the loan lenders and all these people were involved in this bigger conspiracy that was going on. Oh no. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We shall see what happens and what unfolds with Louie and Teresa. I'm hoping it doesn't end bad for her, only because her last situation ended poorly, and I don't want her to have to fall back down into that place, you know? 'Cause she's come so far, and I want her to find love, 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 and I don't want her love bubble to be popped. I want her love bubble to stay strong, but it ain't looking good. I'm just gonna say that. Okay. But things that are looking good. Today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. And if you want your pets to be good, you're going to want to check out the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. For many pet parents, summer's all about making travel plans like adventuring through national parks and visiting pet friendly beaches or road tripping across the country. Wherever your journey takes you and your furry friend, you can help protect them along the way with a plan from ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you and me to get your pet the care that they may need. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years, and they've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. They allow you to customize your plan, helping to ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are, because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. So it's simple. Use their app to submit a claim, and you'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/no-filter. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/no-filter. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/no-filter. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTC Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Whew. And, while things are heating up and you want to keep your pet good, you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself good as well. Because if the summer heat has you worrying about the strength of your deodorant, listen up. It's about time you turn on to the only deodorant that you're ever going to need, and that's called Lumi Whole Body Deodorant. It's formulated for all the places that tend to get sticky when the weather warms up, like your pits and your privates and your feet. I use it all over. I put it to the test at the gym, and even when I'm running around downtown with the dogs in the summer heat and it's getting hot and sticky, and you're like, oof, I need to check to make sure I'm fresh. I'm telling you, it works. Not only does it go where other deodorants don't go, but it's also outrageously effective. One application in the morning is clinically proven to block odor all day. So even if the summer feels like you're in Texas, or even if you literally are in Texas, you don't need to worry. Lumi has you covered for up to 72 hours of odor control. Ready to make this your freshest summer yet? Special offer, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. Use code NOFILTER at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code NOFILTER at Lumi. Lumi is spelled Lume. LumiDeodorant.com. That's LumiDeodorant.com. LumiDeodorant.com. Use code NOFILTER. All right, should we talk about Lisa Barlow? Pamela says, I'm going to try Lumi. NC is getting hot as a mofo. I feel that. Mama Llama says orange tangerine is good. I've been dying to try orange tangerine. The coconut vanilla is yummy, right? It just makes you smell like a cupcake. It's like, delicious. Just want to eat myself up, And then the lavender is also good. I use the lavender whole body for like the parts of the body that, aren't just the pits. So I have the coconut on my pits. And then, when I'm running around downtown, I put the little lavender on my little toesies, and we make sure that we're fresh head to toe. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if you're going to find like an impromptu date at Target, and then it's like, oh, whoopsie daisy. Let's hook up in the janitor's closet. JK. I've never hooked up in a janitor's closet. But yeah, I've been dying to try the orange tangerine. As soon as I run out of this one, I think I'm going to order the tangerine because it just looks like it smells yummy. It just sounds like it smells yummy. And the other two smell great. So, all right. Let's see. Let's talk about Lisa Barlow. Poor Lisa Barlow is now facing a new lawsuit. She's being sued by her former business partner and former pal, who claims that she owes him over $400,000 in unpaid debt, right? So according to TMZ, Lisa came to this guy, Bart Carlson, okay? And so Lisa Barlow, Vita Tequila, and Lux Marketing, they're all named as defendants in this lawsuit from Bart. And he's claiming that he gave her loans starting over a decade ago. She hasn't paid them, and now he wants her to pay up. So he says that she came to him in 2010, says that she was experiencing some hardship and that she needed some cash to cover the expenses. He claims that he agreed to give her some money. There was no like repayment plan in terms of when she was going to pay him back. which is kind of, I guess, that, Mickey Mouse handshake, I'm your friend, I got you sort of payment. But he says that over the next several years, beginning in May 2010 all the way through February 2018, that he loaned her money. He loaned money to Vita and to Lux, and totaling $410,000. $410,842.36. He says that he's asked her several times over the years to pay him back, and she hasn't. And he says that every time she's asked for money, she says that there's no way for her to pay him back or her companies. Now, she's responding. She issued this statement to the press yesterday, Tuesday or Wednesday evening. She said Bart Carlson was once a business partner in a restaurant in Park City, and I thought a friend. I am deeply saddened that he has decided 9 years after our restaurant business ceased to claim that I owe him money. To be very clear, that claim that I owe Bart or his company money is untrue. I pay my bills and obligations, and I always have. I look forward to the truth coming out, and I intend to hold Bart fully accountable for any damages this personal attack may cause me or my businesses. So, what he's claiming is she was struggling. She was broke as a joke. She was turning into Shannon Doherty, needed some cash. She needed money. He loaned her money. He gave up to 410 100,000. How do you 400? How do you say that? It's 410K. We're just gonna say over 400 grand, okay? Because that's easier. So I'm like, how do you say 410,000 $100,000? I don't know. 400,000 four. How do you say that? 410,000? 410 $410,000? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, get it in writing when you're doing business. Yes. But so the thing is, he's suing her, he's suing Vita, and he's suing her marketing company, Lux. However, I don't think he has any ownership over Vita or Lux. Those are just the two companies that she currently has, that she runs and operates now. He's claiming that he was loaning her money because she was struggling financially. She's claiming that $410,000. That sounds right. Thank you, Krista Marie. But so she's claiming, no, we had a restaurant together in Park City. We were business partners in that restaurant. And he's claiming, and she's like, it's crazy because the restaurant closed down 9 years ago. Their restaurant business ceased. And now he wants to claim that he's owed money, which is also interesting, right? Like, this is where I like, I start to have questions about these things because these people come out of the woodwork all these years later, and it's like, he's claiming that he's reached out to her to pay him back multiple times, and she's denied. But she's claiming that any money that he had invested, it was clearly related to their restaurant, not related to any of her other businesses or personal whatever that she had to cover. So I don't know. It sounds like it's going to get messy. But I understand if it's been like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're like, "Okay, I've been harassing you for 3 fucking years. It's time you pay up." But now she's on the show, now she's become more famous, now she seems to have more money, her businesses are seemingly doing well. So now he's like, "Okay, she has the cash flow, let me try and sue her now." But it's like, you need to put a statute of limitations on some of these things, because it's like, why are you gonna come chasing after somebody 9 years later, 9 years after your business with them closed? I don't know, I think I'm on team Lisa Barlow with this one. Only because people get so sue happy, and like throwing out claims of like, oh, this person didn't pay me. We've seen this a million times where people are like, oh, I worked for this reality star, I worked for this celebrity, and they never paid me. And it was like 8 years ago, and it's like, never paid you for what? Oh, the services that you provided. Oh, did you provide an invoice? Did you follow up on that invoice? Like, show the paper trail of when you sent out the initial invoice, show the initial agreement where this person agreed to pay you this price for these services, and then, show all the follow-ups in writing, That's how you prove a lawsuit. That's how you prove somebody never paid you for something. I don't know. Brittany says, "Am I the only one who forgets these housewives because they take too long to film, edit, and release? Like social media and podcasts are better than watching the actual shows." Well, the issue is, like you're saying, there's um, so much renewal that, or like so much time in between each renewal of the new season that it gets, we kind of forget, like they need to shorten the time frame a lot more. I don't know. I don't know. I agree with you though. I think the time that they spend in between each of these is just it takes too long. But yeah, I'm with Lisa Barlow. I feel like she's gonna end up winning at the end of this. And if anything, they could just be suing because they want it to be part of the show. They know that the lawsuit's coming during the show. They know it's gonna be talked about. It gives this person, Bart, and his current businesses a little bit of clout, right? I've been in situations with celebrities where you see someone and they want to sue a celebrity for whatever their reasoning is, and sometimes it has nothing to do with the actual celeb. They just want to attach the name so that it makes press. Very similar to Lee McSweeney's lawsuit against Bravo and NBC. And she keeps dragging Andy Cohen into this because she knows by dragging Andy Cohen into this, it's going to keep making headlines. It's going to keep making press. And the more attention that you put on it, the more, it's likely to draw interest from the public. And then you build, personal cachet with the public. And I don't know. There are multiple motives as to why people sue and why they choose to do the things that they do. Like there was an incident where there was a celeb that was being sued, even though this lawsuit the case didn't necessarily involve the celeb, but because the celeb endorsed this particular business that was being sued, the celeb was tied into this, and it was unfortunate. And then that person that was suing was running to the press and, issuing statements to the press. And it's like, now you're just trying to get your 5 minutes of news time. And so it's common. I've seen it done. I've been on the other side of it. It's not fun. It's thirsty. It's very Jackie Goldschneider. So we'll see. But I think Lisa Barlow will end up winning in the end. That's my prediction. Also, I'm thinking of like maybe ending every episode of No Filter with like an Ask Zack, like a 5-minute wrap up where you send in questions and we just kind of do a Q&A. Maybe it's like advice. Maybe it's like responding to things you heard on the Pop Report or you heard on Disaster Daters or that you read on Twitter, or if you want a hot take on something that we didn't address on the show. I think I'll reserve like the final 5 minutes of an episode and we'll just do, I don't know what we want to call it. I'll let you guys help me name. You always come up with good names, Or maybe we do like a Zactivated rant of the day or rant of the week. I kind of like that, where we like, yes, everyone loved my rant yesterday about all the faux woke, clutching of the pearls because everybody wants to like feel like they're important somehow. I won't go on another rant today. Yesterday's rant was enough. But if you have, let me know if we want to do like a segment. I like the Ask Zack idea. Do we want to call it Ask Zack? Like, okay, let's move into Ask Zack. Like show and tell. Oh yes, like show and tell. Mallory, we love. Yeah, see, but you guys came up with Zactivated. It's the Zack Pack. You guys always come up with good ideas and good names. Ask Zack. That's kind of basic, but okay, we'll call it Ask Zack. Does anybody have any Ask Zack questions for me? Again, it can be related to a news story that we didn't cover on the show. It can be, I love your shirt, Zack. Thank you. It's a little slutty, but it's because it's so hot outside that I was like, ooh, my mom gave me this shirt for my birthday. And she's like, because it's a little slutty and you can show off your nipples. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But since it's been so hot, and we have to tape the Pop Report, I have to go into studio to tape the Pop Report after this. And I just wanted to like show off my nipples a little bit on the show. It's just a fun time. I love your clutch the pearls phrase. I have to admit, I've used it. Well, I think that's a very common phrase, though. I can't take credit for clutch the pearls, but it is like, oh my God. I like you in the dark hair and features now. Thank you. Oh, now it took you a while to warm up to it. Just Josh asks, would you go to a Justin Timberlake concert? Abso-fucking-lutely, I would go to a Justin Timberlake concert. I'm bringing sexy back. Them mother boys don't know how to act. We missed you on the charts last week. Damn, that's right, you wasn't there. If so sexy never left, then why's everybody on my shit? Don't hate on me just because you didn't come up with this. I love me some JT. I'll go to a JT concert for damn show. Yeah. He was looking hot coming out of that jail cell with the little handcuffs on. I was like, ooh, gobble me, swallow me, dripped on the side of me. Pamela says, clutch the pearls is kind of, well, I never, especially in the South, I would never. Yeah. Cheryl asks, do you think they'll be able to air the footage with Kenya? I don't know. I don't think they would want to. If anything, I predict that because they were so early into production, I predict they fire Kenya and either she's gonna be exonerated and they'll choose to move forward with her and just put her on like a brief pause, which doesn't sound like what is gonna happen based off of some of the reports that have come out recently that the network's probably looking to let her go. If they axe her, then I think she's going to be completely edited out of the season, as will that event. And so everything will just be edited all around that. Similar to New York. Remember the first season of Real Houses in New York? There was that girl, Lizzie, and she claims that she left because of anti-Semitism or something. But she started filming the show and then they just completely edited her out of the show and edited around her. So I think that's probably what will end up happening with Atlanta should they decide to fire Kenya because it was so early on into filming this season. But that's going to be a bummer because I think everybody was looking forward to Kenya and Portia reuniting on the show. But I don't think they'll want, if they're going to fire Kenya, then I don't think they'll want to pay her and they'll want to use any footage of her. So that's going to be a bummer. Okay. Krista Marie asks, do you know if they're showing the Real Housewives of New Jersey footage fights? I'm assuming you're referring to the one between what's her name? Danielle and Jennifer. I don't think we're going to see the actual fight. I don't think we'll see the actual altercation. And I think that's because they've already shown in the preview for next week, like it gets blacked out and all you hear is the audio. So I assume it's either going to get blacked out and we'll just get the audio when it actually airs, like in the teaser, or they're only going to show us reaction shots and maybe they're going to show the camera like going down or something like, but we're not going to actually see the altercation. Yeah. Laura Martino says, which franchise of Real Housewives do you think is the top dog right now? Ooh, that's a good one. Dubai. No, I'm kidding. Dubai's at the bottom. Jersey. No, Jersey's not up there. I think OC will be the Housewives show of the summer. This year overall, I mean, Atlanta sucked. Potomac sucked. Jersey sucks. Jersey's doing okay, but it's not great. Beverly Hills was okay. I wouldn't say that this was the best season of Beverly Hills. What happened in the finale? See, I don't even remember the Beverly Hills finale. What happened in the Beverly Hills finale? Oh, it was Kyle's white party. And it's her, oh yeah, her and her marriage with Mauricio, which was kind of interesting, but I think I was more compelled and interested in buying Beverly Hills and their story there than I was on the Real Houses of Beverly Hills. I enjoyed Erica's like redemption story arc last season. I wouldn't say that Beverly Hills was at the top, even though ratings wise, Beverly Hills was the most watched and they were breaking 1 mil each week. So, I mean, ratings wise, content wise, I don't think Salt Lake City. Hello, how did I miss that? Salt Lake City, I think, was top tier prime, and I think OC is definitely going to surpass Salt Lake City for sure. Just Me Carey said you were there at the finale. I know I was there at the white party. I forgot. Sorry, that was last May when we filmed that. It's been a minute. Okay. Any other questions? Just Josh asks, should we start a petition for an original cast reboot of Charmed? Yes, absolutely. I'm 1000% down for that. Let's get it. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Ooh, Pamela B sent a super chat. Says, thanks for all you do, Zach. You make my day. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Lori says, honestly, your pod and this chat makes it all worth watching. Oh, thank you guys. You're so sweet. I'm so used to just getting like ripped apart on the internet that like when I get nice messages, I'm like, you guys, it warms my heart. Okay, looks like that's all the questions that we have. Nikki says, I think all the franchises are struggling because they don't know what to do. Lawsuits flying, careers ruined. I'm talking quality, not ratings. Yes, I agree. Quality, not ratings. Because it's like, listen, Kenya, I'm sure thought she was going to deliver a great moment by being like, yeah, I'm going to post these pictures and blast Brit for being an escort. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, you're suspended. Don't do that. And it's like, nobody knows how to behave anymore. Not only that, but it's also like housewives. I mean, my God, they were telling the story of when Erica cussed out Garcelle's son, which, come on, it was done not like real. She wasn't like actually being like, fuck you, Jax. She wasn't like trying to have an altercation with Jax. She was just like, Jax, like, the adults are talking, get the fuck out of here. It was still wrong. He didn't seem all that bothered by it when you rewatch that episode. If we rewatch a lot of the stuff that people flipped the fuck out about back then, it's insane. Um, Obviously, Garcelle was unhappy about it. She's like, don't talk to my kid that way. Erica felt bad. Erica apologized, right? But it's like that little infraction when Kyle and Dorit were talking about it on the show, suddenly, you know, it was like, oh my God, how dare they laugh at Garcelle's son? How dare they laugh at that moment? I was just like, my God, I grew up with my mom and her friends, and they were cussing and drinking and doing all this shit. I'm like, it wasn't that big of a deal. But because the audience makes it such a big deal, and because cast members like Garcelle like to lean into that. They read what's going on Twitter. Like, I saw the other day somebody's like, bring Camille back. And I'm like, Camille has left her prime. She was great when she was the honest Camille back in like season 1, season 2. And then eventually, once the audience got on top of her, like Camille reads Twitter all the time. And that's why you always see her having snarky tweets in return. But like they brought Camille back last season, and what happened? They cut all her scenes because she was fucking boring. People don't like when they pander to the audience unless you're the loudmouths on Twitter. But my point is the housewives don't know what to do. They don't know how to behave. They don't know how to act anymore because the audience will rip them apart for everything. Kyle and Mauricio and PK like literally laughed at that one little moment because they thought it was funny, which, let's be honest, most people I think would think that that's funny aside from the stupid losers on Twitter. They would be like, "Oh my God, LOL, you told the kid to fuck off." Like, I don't know. I was just raised in a household where, not that they were ever rude or disrespectful or mean to the kids, but it was just like the adults are doing the adult thing, like go outside and play. Like it wasn't. And I was raised like that with both sides of my family. It wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Um, so I still look at that. I'm like, yes, that was unfortunate. Erica apologized from it. Let's move on from it. But housewives, and that's just one little example of like anything a housewife does, the audience goes so I told you Dolores, she wore that veterans jacket, and people are like, how dare Dolores wear a veterans jacket when she's not an actual veteran? And it's like, shut the fuck up. Enjoy these shows. Stop making Bravo so toxic. You're the ones that are making it toxic. But that's why I think it's hindering the shows, because now housewives don't know what to do. They don't want to get drunk on camera anymore. They don't want to, be their authentic selves. They don't want to get in trouble with Uncle Sam anymore. So they're not going to flash their wealth like they used to. All of these things that have happened to housewives as a result of sharing their lives on these shows, like the tower is coming down. And I believe that, Housewives it's just ending. Pamela B says that was so silly. Erica was wasted. Yeah, she was drunk and she was wasted. She wasn't trying to like be mean to the kid. She wasn't trying, like, it would be different if an adult approached a child and said, hey kid, fuck you and your mom. That would be different. That'd be like, whoa, that's not okay. But she's like, homie, get out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's literally like, you know, it's insane. I can't stand. Carrie says I can't stand Camille. I don't know how she spells her name. Oh, you were close. Camille used to be good, but I think Camille gets too caught up in the comments and then allows, with the audience doesn't like Dorit, let's take down Dorit this season. Oh, the audience doesn't like Brandy, let's take down Brandy this season. And that's just, and too many of the housewives perform in that lane. Sharon says, my mom did not swear, and us kids were not hanging around. We would be playing outside. If we were hanging around, she would say, go play. Adults are talking. Yeah. We just had more colorful language in my family, and it wasn't that deep, you know? Even now, like, I will hang out with my mom and her friends and, drink with them and whatever. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I wanna be like, "I'm from a different era," but it's like, "No, I'm not from a different this is my fucking era." Like, I'm, on like, it's just crazy to me how again, outrage culture, crazy, cuckoo birds. Nikki says, "Thank God there aren't cameras on me because if you bring your" I was so fired up about this yesterday. I'm like, real life and TV life are so fucking different, you know? They just are. Carrie says, "Unfortunately, I cuss and my grown kids don't." LOL. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I cuss all the time. I have the worst fucking potty mouth. Cheryl says, "Housewives now ain't got nothing on the earlier seasons of New York, OC, Atlanta, Jersey, and Beverly Hills." My God. Kim Richards, oh my God. Kim Richards is television goals, but like people would freak out if Kim Richards were in her full era on television today. People would be like, "Oh my God. It's so dark. It's so toxic." Oh. Meanwhile, they're watching all the fucking crime documentaries. I'm like, that shit is dark and toxic. That is rotting your fucking brains watching all that true crime shit. I can't fuck with true crime because true crime is scary because it's real. Housewives is I don't want to say fake and fictitious, but like to a degree, it's a little campy, right? It's a little played up. It's um, hyperbolic in genre. But when it comes to that didn't make sense. Hyperbolic in genre. I just mean like it's not like it's real, but it's like, it's still performative in a way, like, campy performative, not like woke performative. Anyway, I digress. True crime shows, like the documentaries, that's real. You're talking about like people like murdering people, and I'm like, "Oh my god, how do you watch that night after night?" And then they're like, and then they give you the whole 48-hour story, and then at the end of it, they're like, "And he's still on the loose. If you have any tips, please call the tip line." Like, fuck you. I don't want to call the tip line. I watched this so that you can tell me he's in jail. Not that he's on the loose and he's watching. Every time I watched it and he was on the loose, I swear to God, I always thought he was in the backyard. I'm like, he's watching this. He's watching me. Oh my God, he's gonna come. He's gonna take me too because he knows that I'm falling for the propaganda that he killed 5 people and ate them. I don't fuck with true crime. No, thank you. But see, people love to watch true crime and they don't complain about how dark and toxic that is. They're like, "Ooh, this is juicy. Let me watch this murder mystery and eat my popcorn and drink my wine." Mm. Yeah, I can't do true crime. I don't do true crime when they're about women killed in their homes alone. Yeah, that's just a little too dark and toxic for me, Laura. Kristen Marie says, then Jersey Shore comes out and you see why I never will leave this place. LOL. Okay, sorry. Went off thinking. Jersey Shore is a good time. I love JWoww and her daughter. They always do TikToks. And she like has her daughter like review like her outfits from like the previous Jersey Shore, um, the previous Jersey Shore, what do you call it? Like posters and stuff. And she even had her daughter. She's like, we're gonna go back to some things that I grew up with and see what you recognize. And so she put like a VHS player, she put Blockbuster, she put an iPod, and her daughter's like, oh, that when the iPod came up, she's like, oh, that's like what they have in Stranger Things. And you put the things in your ears and it connects to it, and then you like listen to stuff. I was like, it's called an iPod, and that's how you listen to music. And headphones had wires before they went into your ear. I'm like, we're not that old. It's like, why is this little girl making me feel so damn old? And then VHS player, she's like, I think it's like a projector. No, it's a VHS player. And then Blockbuster comes up and she's like, oh, I know this one. That is a restaurant. Like, not Blockbuster being a restaurant. I'm done. Oh, I didn't go to Blockbuster. I grew up in the hood. We didn't have Blockbuster. We had Hollywood Video. And listen, Hollywood Video was actually pretty fancy considering where I grew up, in Lincoln Heights. What a good time. Pamela says, the call is coming from the inside of the house. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. Lee says, have you watched the Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup? It's a bit cringe. Oof. I have not, but I've seen clips of it. Like when she's making her energy drink. Have you seen the Gypsy Rose energy drink? My she made her man drink it, the man with the fire D. She made him drink it. And it's like Instant coffee mixed with soda with crunched up ground Jolly Ranchers. She'd grind up the Jolly Ranchers and then she'd put the Jolly Ranchers into the ground coffee with the soda. And that was her energy drink. I'm like, my gosh. He's like, how often did you drink this? And she's like, I don't know, at least like twice a week. And I was like, ooh, coffee and soda with Jolly Ranchers? Mm-mm. No, thank you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be back on Monday if you're not a member of the Zack Pack on YouTube, or if you're not a member of No Filter Plus on Apple Podcasts, and you'll get a bonus episode if you are. You can also get 2 episodes of The Pop Report with me and my boy, Andy Lawani. He's an entertainment reporter from What's Trending. We come together and break down the latest entertainment and celebrity news, everything beyond reality TV. So you get all your reality TV fix and rants from me here on No Filter. And then the Pop Report is an extension beyond. You get J-Lo news. You get music news. I was listening to Charlie XCX. You get movie and TV news, all that fun stuff. So if you're a lover of pop culture, catch the Pop Report. New episodes drop every Wednesday and Friday on all podcast platforms. And then July 2nd, we have a new season of Disaster Daters, which is really funny. All 6 episodes from season 1 are now available on my YouTube channel. So you can binge all 6 episodes on YouTube now. It originally aired on Spotify back in February, and now you can watch them all on YouTube ahead of season 2, which comes back July 2nd. And we have Tom Schwartz that's kicking off the new season. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Ciao for now. Bye. Bye. Bye.